Hey there, my name is Blake, and today I want to talk to you about how to leverage the power of storytelling in your sequences. To do this, we're going to use what I'm calling the fan funnel, how to turn prospects into loyalists. In previous lessons, you learned the how of sequences. Now, let's explore the why. Why do some sequences stick while others get ignored? The answer lies in storytelling. Storytelling makes sequences memorable by creating an emotional connection. And when you use stories, you're not simply selling a product or a service. You're selling a feeling. Now, in this lesson, you'll learn three things. 1, ancient wisdom from Aristotle on the fundamentals of persuasion. Next, how to tell a compelling story and lead the prospects through their own unique customer journey. And lastly, how to turn prospects into lifelong loyalists. You might be wondering, Blake, what's with the jersey? Well, today we're going to take on the persona of an NFL sales rep selling season tickets to Chicago Bears fans. But first, let's dive in and take it back about 2,000 years to the origins of persuasion. Welcome to Module 1, the fundamentals of persuasion. To understand why storytelling is so powerful, we need to go back to one of the greatest minds in history, Aristotle. Over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle introduced us to three essential elements of persuasion: ethos, pathos, and logos. These are the building blocks of any compelling story, and they're just as relevant today as they were back then. So first, ethos. Credibility is about establishing trust and authority. Your prospects need to know that you know what you're talking about. Think of it as answering the unspoken question, why should I listen to you? You build ethos by demonstrating expertise, credibility, and alignment with your prospects' values. Next, pathos. Pathos taps into the feelings and emotions, the things that truly drive decisions. People rarely make decisions based on logic alone. They're moved by something that makes them feel. So your story should make a connection that resonates emotionally with your prospect. Finally, logos. Logos is the rational side of persuasion, the data, the numbers, and the facts that support your argument. This is where you provide evidence that your product or service is the best choice. It's about giving your prospect the logical justification they need to move forward. Bringing this all together, the best stories combine all three elements. Ethos establishes trust, pathos makes your message memorable, and logos gives your prospect the reason to say yes. When you weave these three elements into your messaging, you create a story that's not only engaging, but also incredibly persuasive. Now that you understand the fundamentals of persuasion, it's time to see how they fit into a larger framework. In Module 2, we'll explore the IDA plus R framework and how to craft a journey that moves your prospects from curiosity to loyalty. Welcome to Module 2, Crafting Your Prospect's Journey. Now that we've covered the fundamentals of persuasion, ethos, pathos, and logos, it's time to see how they fit into a structured framework for storytelling and sales. That framework is IDA. But today, we're going to add a little twist. IDA stands for awareness, interest, desire, and action. And for the purposes of today's exercise, we're going to add an R to the end, which will stand for retention. This is the roadmap for turning cold prospects into loyal customers. So let's break it down step by step. First, awareness. Grabbing attention. This is the first step in making your prospect aware of you. In sales, this means cutting through the noise, using things like bold subject lines, personalized openers, or thought-provoking questions to stand out. Your goal here is to make them pause and think, wait, this is different. Second, interest, sparking curiosity. Once you've grabbed their attention, you need to keep it by appealing to their curiosity. Show them that you understand their pain points and goals. This is where pathos comes in, connecting with their emotions and making them feel seen. 3, desire, building the want. This is where you turn interest into desire by showing the transformation that your product can bring. Use stories, testimonials, or vivid descriptions to make your offering irresistible. Tap into ethos and logos to create both emotional and rational desire. 4, action, sealing the deal. Desire is great, but without action, it's meaningless. This step is about giving your prospect a clear and compelling reason to take the next step right now. Create urgency and make it easy for them to say yes. Finally, 5, retention, building loyalty. This is where most salespeople stop, but great salespeople know the real work begins after the sale. Retention is about turning one-time buyers into lifelong customers, staying engaged, and feeling consistently a part of a community. So let's recap. Awareness gets them to notice you. Interest makes them want to learn more. Desire gets them emotionally and logically invested. Action gets them to say yes. And retention keeps them coming back for more. When you use the IDA plus R framework, you're not just running sequences. You're creating a journey that will resonate deeply with your prospects. And when you pair this with Apollo's tools, it's a game changer. In the next module, we'll put this into practice. I'll share an example of Chicago Bears themed sequence that follows this exact framework. Welcome to Module 3, bringing it all together. Now that we've explored the fundamentals of persuasion and the IDA plus R framework, it's time to see what this looks like in action. So here's a sequence I created, and we can break it down step by step. Alongside each of these steps, feel free to pause and take a screenshot of how I built this. You'll also get to see all the nuances of the platform's feature, like how to create a multi-channel sequence, how to utilize personalization, things of that nature. And you'll also learn, ultimately, why executing this strategy is seamless with a tool like Apollo. All right, step 1, awareness, the bold introduction. The first email in the sequence is all about grabbing attention. It's bold, direct, and it speaks to the heart of what Bears fans care about. Why this works, the subject line is intriguing, and the body taps into pathos by painting an emotional picture. All right. Step 2, interest, sparking curiosity. The second touch point builds on the first, creating curiosity while sharing value. And this step just so happens to be a LinkedIn message. Why it works, you're providing information and building interest while connecting emotionally and logically. Step 3, desire, making it irresistible. This step highlights the benefits and creates urgency to take action. Why it works, combining pathos, the fear of missing out, with logos, logical savings, both of which amplify the desire to act. Step 4, action. This one just so happens to be a phone call, and as you can see here, you can create scripts for yourself or your reps within the tool. Step 4 is action, sealing the deal. The fourth step is all about making it easy for them to say yes. Why it works? It's clear, it's direct, and there's no room for hesitation. Lastly, step 5, retention, building loyalty. The final step is about what happens after the sale. Retention is how you turn a happy buyer into a loyal fan. Why it works? It keeps the excitement alive, and it makes them feel a part of something bigger than themselves. So to wrap this all up, I hope you can see by now that this is more than just a sequence. It's a journey. By following the IDA plus R framework and leveraging Apollo, you can create meaningful interactions and connections that turn prospects into lifelong loyalists. So what's your next step? Try this approach with your own sequence. Experiment, adapt, and make it your own. The key is to focus on the story you're telling and the relationship you're building. Let's go create some loyal fans. You got this.